Hey, hallo, grüezi. You know these one person in your life that has like a special skill nobody can explain? Yeah, for my partner that is finding four-leaf clovers. She can just walk on the street and just be like, oh, four-leaf clover everywhere. Even if I search for one, I will never find it. I can stare on like a batch of clovers and just search for one, and she will actually reach right into the middle of my sight and pull the four-leaf clover. So why do I tell you that story? So my girlfriend recently had her birthday and I wanted to gift her something personal. So I decided to gift her earrings because she really loves earrings. I found this like super awesome design with like four-leaf clovers in different heights and depth. And I thought that's just perfect. But these are now printed in FDM in green. I mean, they look pretty, but I can't gift her plastic earrings because I think I know how that would go. Hey honey, yeah, I made something for you. Oh, what? I made your earrings. Yeah, not good. I decided to make it into a better material, and I really love titanium. Because titanium is safe for skin contact, of course. I mean, you use it as a piercing. And titanium is also a really cool material because it's light, it's super strong. I like the color. But my partner actually loves gold way more than metal. So I decided to partially gold plate the big leaves here. I thought, why not make that together with you to see how the whole process works. As you might have realized, I'm not in my studio today. I'm actually here in my workshop at work because here I have all the machinery I would need to make that happen. I would say, let's get started. So I decided to 3D print it using titanium because machining titanium is really hard and I don't have the equipment for that. Luckily, our sponsor PCBWay offers titanium 3D printing super affordably. So I simply uploaded my design, ordered it, and a few days later, I got them in the mail. So they look awesome. I mean, the 3D printing on these is immaculate. They're super smooth on the back, they're a little rough on the front side, but that's actually the texture you get from the metal powder when it's fused together. But I think we can polish that very well. So my plan actually is to polish the backside, to polish the little ones that are deeper than the rest, to not polish the little ones. So they should stay in that surface finish because I really love it. And the big ones I will try to get to a mirror shine and then gold plate them. So we have like a two-colored earring, titanium, where I don't get a broom up my ass. So let's get started. Titanium is really well polished with polishing compound for aluminum. So let's quickly grab that. Where did I put it? God damn it.
1 hour later.
Found it. And that's basically a special high gloss politur for aluminum and weak or soft metals. Even though titanium is super hard, this one works somehow super awesomely. So I'm actually super happy with the mirror shine of it. Like I polished the backside, I polished the front, the two clovers that are mirrors, so I can see myself. And I partly polished this, so it actually looks like a little bit like a hammer strung, like they were forged or something like that. I really love that. So the contrast is already super cool. So these ones will now get like front gold plated. On the back it will stay polished metal. For this I have to go back to my own set because there I have the gold plating machine, as you know. So see you over there. Now we're back in my studio. Like one bad thing, it molded. I'm kidding. Here we have our polished earrings now. They look really good. Even though they look super clean, we actually have an oxide layer on top. So before we plate, it's really important to remove that oxide layer. We will actually use an activator for that. You might have seen me using the activator already when I did my Iron Man mask, because here we used nickel as like a surface in the second try. The first try, let's not talk about it. In the second try, we activated the nickel with the activator because it produces a very fast oxide layer, and titanium is the same. Even though titanium doesn't really oxidize like rust, it still produces a protective oxide layer on top. And this activator actually, it performs basically two tasks. First thing is it strips the oxide layer and it actually depletes the surface of electrons. So that makes the surface electron hungry, and we give it electron with our gold solution. So then the gold really adheres to the metal. If you don't activate, you can simply like wipe off your gold at the end. Not a good thing. We want that to stay golden a long time. Because I only want to partially gold plate it, I will actually cover what I don't want to gold plate. Just simple tape. Like you can call it masking, I just call it taping. The first one looks pretty shit. The second one, moving on. Now we have to clean that. Because like as you saw, I touched it a lot. We don't want to have our like skin grease on that surface because then the gold will not hold on. And of course we want to have it hold on. I think that's obvious, right? So first what I want to do is I will use some electro cleaner and some paper towels. Let me quickly grab them. Oh, magic. So we use some electro cleaner now. This one is recommended to be used with around 5 volts. We have our little power station here. Maybe you know it out of the video from the gold plating of the mask. We can set it to 5 volts and we can test continuity by clicking it. Yes, it works. So normally you use that pen. I locked it up because I didn't clean it, so I will use the electrode actually directly. Yeah, I did that to see if like the cable is okay, because it has a safety basically and it clicks. And it always shows you basically continuity, and it also shows you in the amperes how much current actually, like how conductive something is. Like, you see, this is like super conductive. I'm not. You know what I wanted to try like a long time, because I'm not conductive here. Like, how close do they have to get to conduct? So, after that little experiment, let's get ready. Very important, protection. I don't want to get I don't want to burn my skin, get like copper poisoning again. For the activator, graphite electrode. It actually says on the bottle you should use graphite or stainless steel for this one. So now we go to our high-speed gold. Gold is done between 3 and 6 volts. The lower the voltage, the finer the layer of gold will be. You want to have a fine layer, it means you have a very good surface quality. So yeah, I'm going with 3 volts right now and see if gold sticks. I know titanium is hard to gold plate actually. Wiped right off. Fuck. Yeah. You can't win every time, right? There you have it. Partially polished titanium earrings. You can see those little like discoloration, that's gold. And if I go over it, it simply just wipes away. I didn't imagine it to be that hard, especially if I have a specialized activator. You can't win every time, sometimes your project fails, but it's still a cool earring, right? Right. What the fuck? I mean, I plated fucking plastics and I can't plate metal? So now that heat anodizing failed and also gold plating, copper plating, nickel plating didn't work at all, we're now going to electroanodize. Anodizing just means we introduce an oxide layer onto our titanium part made out of titanium oxide, so we actually change the color, but it doesn't change the color of the material.
Wait, what?
It actually puts an oxide layer on top. So if this is the surface of your titanium part here, then we introduce an oxide layer on top of it. And this oxide layer in its size gives you the color you want. So basically what happens if visible light with the light length of visible light hits the surface, some of it gets reflected off your oxide layer and some of it gets reflected off your part. And because some of them cancel each other out and some of them are basically giving themselves a bump, you call that interference, the color of the light your eye receives is changed. So electroanodizing worked by basically oxidizing or rusting your titanium in a specific, precisely tuned manner. And the voltage gives you the color of your oxide layer. So how does rusting or oxidation works? So just imagine neutrons in the middle and it's electrons. So just have trisodium sulfide. So it also, because it's trisodium sulfide, and it binds the oxygen to our titanium, creating titanium oxide. And this titanium oxide grows on the surface and makes our whole process at the end possible.
Yes, I am a nerd, bookworm. I'm studious. From my cerebral cortex to my gluteus. Back in kindergarten, I aced my college entrance exam. Now, I'm no rocket scientist. Oh, wait, I am.
You guys have to wear one too. So, welcome to our biosafety laboratory. So let's glove up and I will explain you our setup. Ready? First thing we have to do is to glove up, because what we are about to do is actually pretty dangerous. I guess don't try this at home without proper safety equipment. We are in a well-ventilated area in a specialized laboratory. We have a few modes, and this one is our setup. So what I have here is my power supply. Since I don't have a power supply that can deliver 55 volts, which I need for the golden color of titanium, I actually put two power supplies in series by simply connecting one positive to a negative of the other power supply, setting one to 25 and one to 30 volts. So overall, in series, I get 55 volts. I have butter knife because it's stainless steel. This will be our cathode. So it has to be stainless steel or another inert material, because otherwise you will deposit atoms from this cathode to your anode, which is your titanium part. And we don't want that. We want oxygen to release, and we do that with our solution we will mix up. So I have one beaker, and this beaker I will use to etch my part. So you see, we polished our titanium part really well, but there is still, right after polishing, an oxide layer forming, a natural oxide layer that protects the titanium. That's actually the reason why we couldn't gold plate, because it's super fast. So I will use an acid to remove this oxide layer, and that's the dangerous part. What I have here is hydrochloric acid. It's one of the nastiest stuff you can ever handle. That's why I'm in a specialized area, and it's really dangerous. It eats flesh like piranhas. And you shouldn't touch it with bare skin. You should have safety equipment. You should absolutely not drink it. So if this video gets 1,000 likes, no, I'm just kidding, obviously. So I will use hydrochloric acid to etch the oxide layer that already formed from my titanium. After that, over here, I have a beaker with distilled water, just to wash off and neutralize hydrochloric acid. And over here I have a beaker that for now contains only water. I will soon mix in trisodium phosphate. Trisodium phosphate is pretty easy to handle. It's actually used for paint, like in painting. It seals lead paint, for example, and it prepares surfaces for painting, like when there was mold or whatever. Trisodium phosphate I use because, Nerd Andy explained before, it actually lends an oxygen atom that is negatively charged when you put electrolysis in. So what means when you put electricity through. So I will attach my stainless steel knife to the negative terminal of my power supply. So it is the cathode. So, and this one will be simply put in the beaker. My other part, my titanium part, will be put into plus, and then it should color switch immediately. The electricity does it. Let me prepare everything. Well, if you wonder how much trisodium phosphate to use, the maximum amount. So you want to have a saturated liquid, so basically that it can't take any more, and you can see that if sediment is building on the bottom. So we have our trisodium phosphate bath over here. So now we will start to etch those parts, and for that I of course will close my fume hood. I will have to be relatively quick. That's why I already put all the electricity on like I need it. So I will etch it, I will clean it, I will connect it, and I will dump it immediately. Job of polishing, because even the acid basically completely pearls off. So normally you take like a solution that is called multi-etch. It's a brand, and you heat that up to 55. But first, it was too expensive. Second, this should do the trick. And third, heating up acid is like a little too much for me. I don't want to do that. That sounds too dangerous for me. I don't even touch this with my glove because I think it's too dangerous. I don't know if my glove actually can withstand. They should. I mean, they're lab gloves. but still. Never put used acid back into its container because it can be compromised. Well, we don't want that. Okay, I will close that later. So that's why we have HCI waste here. This one we have to clean. Okay, this one is now neutralized, so I can use my gloves. Oh god, it's stuck. Is okay. Put it in. And you see an instant color change. You see that? Now it gets cloudy, but you can still see it again getting golden. I don't want to touch the solution with my clamp because that takes the direct pass then. So we let it sit a little bit, but then we pull it out so the voltage drop can go away. And it already starts to turn a little bit golden. And as you can see, we have like impurities in the other areas. We get like salts that go there. So let me actually stir a little bit of the undissolved powder so we get electrolytes in the solution and then put it in again. Oh, it's even good that it's moving. Ah, and now it's color flipped very hard. You saw that? That's nice. The thing is, you can't do it too long because the color of your layer is basically decided by the thickness of it. And the thickness itself is decided by the voltage. The good thing about electroanodization is that you really can't scratch it off because it's an oxide layer, and an oxide layer is hard like hell. It looks so good. I love it. You see like smoke coming off? This smoke actually is hydrogen gas. It's another reason why we are in a steam hood, because that is flammable. So what we do, we split the water in this contraption, or in this, how's it called, trisodium phosphate solution. We split the water into hydrogen and oxygen, and because of the trisodium phosphate or phosphate oxygen that is done by this electrolysis, it releases hydrogen and it releases oxygen in its negatively charged form, which is then attracted by our titanium and bound to the surface as a hard oxide layer into titanium oxide. Chemistry is cool. Let me clean up all that mess so everything is stored away properly and there is no danger for others. And I come back with the result. Oh, it stinks. Okay, I am super happy with the outcome of this. It really shines like real gold. Here I actually like overdid it a little bit and it got purple, but I love it. I would like, if that would have been mine earrings, they would be a purple all the way, because that shiny purple is awesome. So the only thing I need to do is like clean up all the residue, like the soot that is on here. After that, my precious are done. I guess I clean and you enjoy the cinematics. See you next time.